Oh, yeah, I want to talk about the sun. Uh, I want to make another example here. Talk about the sun here. No, no, no. This is imagine, right? Imagine. Oh, I lost it. Okay. Imagine this is the sun. Now, I've noticed when I've gone online and looked at the Earth. Well, I typed in the solar system. I typed the word solar system into the search engine, and I'll tell you, I got a very then I looked at the pictures, and I think it's very clear and plain to see that they don't want you to to understand how big the sun is and how close we are to it, because we are on the sun. We're on the sun. Um, and so what I found when I typed in the word solar system and looked at the pictures was I found a lot of pictures of planets, right? Planets and stuff. But the thing that was the absolute hardest to find, and it took me a while to find one, was a look at the solar system in proportion to each other. In other words, starting with the sun, everything in proportion. A look at that. That was really hard to find. You know. Now I didn't type in, show me a bunch of random planets, because that's what pulls up, a bunch of random planets. So type in the solar system, I got a bunch of random planets. But can I get a simple look of the sun and everything else in proportion to it? It took me a little bit of time to find one. That's a clue. Never have I seen such bad information. Really, you be ashamed of yourself. Now, they tell, right? They tell me, right? I've been told this, but it's like, well, look how big the sun is. You see this? Are you looking at this? This is a quarter. You can see this is a quarter. Okay, this this is where we are next to the sun. You see that? You see that? Here's us. And there's the sun. Okay. Now, now well, why isn't the sun really big in the sky when we look at it? If that's what this is, and the answer I got, and it was something I couldn't argue with because you know I didn't have any means to argue it. The argument was that when I say argument, I don't mean two people yelling at each other. I mean an explanation, an explanation to resolve a question. All right. The argument I got back was that our eyes, that we have a wide sense of view. Huh? I can actually see way over here, almost behind me. Right? Probably a little bit behind me. I can see that. Right? Matter of fact, our eyes are more sensitive at the corner of our vision. So what I don't think I can see uh, is much more apparent to me when it moves or changes in brightness, because that's more sensitive to our eyes. And with that information, I learned how to see. Actually, someone taught me, so it's always easier when someone teaches you something. That's what professors are for, and teachers are for. Yeah. People ask me, "Well, teach me something, tell me something." I think, "Oh, don't talk down to me. Don't be condescending." You know, these people have obviously never been in a classroom, ever, ever, ever been in a classroom. It's plain to see that. You know, and of course they want to show their intelligence. So, you know, what do you think, I'm stupid or something? Well, yeah, I do. Absolutely do. Because stupid people are not open to the possibility that they could be wrong. That's why they're stupid. Because at some point, I know everything. I don't need to learn anything. And no one can tell me anything because I'm not stupid. And that's when they stop learning, and there's simply too much to know to stop learning. There's too much to know. And, you know, when you stop learning and you cut yourself off to the possibility that you could be wrong, that not only are you stupid, but you're dangerous. You're a danger. You're dangerous. So, you're stupid and dangerous, and a threat to all that. You know, when you have a problem, it's not just your problem, it's everybody's problem. It doesn't belong to you. Wide vision, which is why the sun looks smaller. It kind of does this. Well, huh. Um, that's a pretty good answer. It is a pretty good answer. Sky is red. Now I know they said there's reasons for the planet to be red, but that doesn't explain the sky. If you put the quarter up here where the sun is, the Earth, sky is a reflection of bullshit. Look at this. There's another possibility, and this possibility makes a lot more sense because it explains three things, which is a pattern. It explains the blue, it explains the purple, and it explains the red. That's three things. Okay. So this is what I came up with in the last few days. Okay. Because I'm trying to argue, we're on the motherfucking sun, motherfucker. And what you see up there, that's what I'm trying to argue. I'm trying to argue that. Right? And I am good at convincing people of things because I spend a lot of good long time figuring out how to deliver the information that makes it irrefutable. That's hard to do. You know, fixing things. Thinking about how to do something, or how to get something done. I have spent years fixing something, trying to do little simple things, because I was trying to break into a toy of mine. Actually, it wasn't of mine. It was an extremely expensive toy, perhaps the world's most expensive toy. It was $1 million more. It was a little tiny toy cash register. Toy bank. Over $1 million. I got some coins stuck in it. And my property, I bought it. I bought our house. Our house was a grab bag, I guess you could say. 14, 17 was. It was a grab bag. Nobody wanted the house because it was supposedly haunted by, there was somebody, was an inventor who lived there. And they, uh, and what's in the house is when you buy like a house like that grab bag, some people, walk out, you know, they put their money down and what's inside is wonderful, wonderful. And some people, get a bad house with nothing, with no valuables, right? And he's a jackpot with our house. I bought it. Um, of course, I had to tame the black hole in the basement. I don't know what's the black hole in the basement. There's something very, very scary, terrifyingly scary in the basement. And, it was tired of being robbed and abused. And rightfully so, the house was vacant because it wasn't letting anybody in. It let me in. Doesn't mean it was going to play nice. It pissed me off and I tamed it. Just like that. I mean, I tamed it. I yelled at it. And I called this bluff. Oh, I was so angry. I was so fucking angry. My parents, my mom and dad, they were going to fill in the basement with cement. They were actually, I overheard them talking. Overheard them talking. They were going to fill in our basement with cement, the entire thing, because of that, because of what was down there. The thing that I tamed. Yeah. They didn't talk to me about it. They never said, Glenn, there's something in the basement. And we just don't know what it is, and it seems to be, dangerous. They didn't say that. They didn't say anything to me. And apparently it was, I don't know what it was doing to them, but they're ready to fill it in. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. He's still going down. Give him a chance. Fuck. If you're going to give me a job, tell me what the fucking job is. Don't just throw me out there and let me try to figure it out. Yeah. It was always damp and the lights would burn out. And my toy, that cash register, little bank, something that expensive. They had my attention, my full attention. And now I got something stuck in it, and I don't know how to get it out. Not without breaking it. The thing cost $12, about $12. I looked it up. $12, maybe 20. But the original one is in millions. I saw the price tag on it. I had to give it away. The moment I fixed it, I had to give it away. I was told to give it away. Underprivileged kids. My parents didn't believe the price tag. They didn't believe the price tag. Despite the fact that everything in it, had certificates. Every little thing about it has certificates. Anyhow, excuse me. I spent years repairing it because it's a beautiful piece of work. It's a beautiful machine. And it costs a lot of money. And even as a toddler, as a child, I appreciate that. And, you know, it, there's a lot of patents there that somebody got. I think that a lot of it was, anyway, and you pull the thing down, you put the coin in, you pull the thing down, you know, and it was ding, ching, 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 and what you put in pops up as, you know, physically as a number. So it recognized it's a coin machine that recognizes quarters from nickels, from dimes, from pennies. It can recognize it. Shicking. That's a toy. Well, let me tell you something. Machines couldn't do that back then. And it knew the difference between. I got some Canadian money. I'm testing. I'm testing it. I'm like, you know, I tested it really good. Um, Canadian money? Nope. It knows the difference. Canadian penny? You know the difference. Canadian knows the difference. American money? How about that? That's really for a toy. That's amazing. Quite amazing. And so, you know, every time I put two things quarters in a slot, and I pulled it down. And the thing is, once you start pulling, right? Once you start pulling the lever down, it's irreversible. It's irreversible. You can't push it back. Right? You might be able to push it back, but this is something that's very expensive, extraordinarily rare. And if it gets broken, we may not ever know. I'm not going to break it. Now, there's only so much pressure one can put on a thing before one goes, it might break. Right? Now, it has a door in front, right, which locks, and it will open up once you get enough money value. I don't remember what that is, but it will open up, right? Ding. And you know, you can bend a little bit. You can bend a little bit. A couple of things I want to do. Can it recognize the money it's supposed to recognize and nothing else, and not be fooled? And can you get the money out without making your wad first? Is there a way to get the money out without doing what the machine is supposed to do? And for all practical purposes, I would say it's a pretty damn good machine. Yes, I got the money out. I got the money out without, but it took years of thinking about the last thing I did and what happened and the risks involved and everything, and thinking about it before I do it, you know, 3 years. I'm hearing a year and a half. You know, so you know, I don't have a good day when I lie. I don't have a good day. Not remembering things is not a lie, but you know, a year and a half. Yeah. That's a long time. How about that? A long time. Are we good? Are we good? Maybe not 3 years, but it's a year and a half. More than 1 year, almost two. Okay? They're still thinking it's 3 years. They're saying year and a half. A long time working on this problem, you know. And the main problem number one, the most severe problem, is how to what the lever. I can't go backwards. I could, but it's going to break the thing. I just know it. And going forward, it's jammed. I bought all sorts of tools. I bought a lot of tools over that time um, to maneuver and things, and um, trying to get the coins out. There was a chance to get the coins out. Well, I could still get, but once you, once you got out of sight, oh boy, there's only one way that thing's gonna go. And ultimately, after the year and a half, or 3 years, after after that very long time, I had made a decision that it's going to have to be brute force, and that I'm not applying enough pressure on it, and I'm going to have to give it everything I got, and brute force is the only way, and it will work without damaging the machine. And it did work without damaging the machine. Thank you very much. I'll wait. Without damaging the machine. Yeah, that's very rewarding. That's very rewarding. But it's also a little hole in the back. Oh, the little hole. I don't know what the hole is. Oh, I had all sorts of tools. Getting the money out. Get the money out. That's a really well-made machine. It really is. It's a very well-made machine. I loved it very much. But every time I went down to the basement, the lights were out. All right? I mean, there's a lamp on the other side, but the light switch, that's why it's damp and smelly. I can see it! I can see the monster! Oh, it's in the dark there. It is the dark. It's scary. It's really scary. And that's a feedback loop. It's a feedback loop. I'm scared. I'm scared of it, which makes it scared of me, which makes me scared of it. So fear escalates, and it's a very real fear. And it's a very real fear that both things feel. They're very afraid. That's a very dangerous situation. Right? And it's so mentally exhausting. You have to go there through the dark to turn a lamp on. And all the fear, very real fear. And one day I was tired, and I had it. It's the only toy. It's my only toy, and I want it. So, when I yelled at it, I was afraid my mother was going to hear me talking to myself. That'd be big trouble, right? I went and talked to myself. I went downstairs, and I said to that monster, I said, if you're going to do something, do it. But I'm playing with my toy, and I'm sick and tired of this. If you're going to do something, do it. But I'm playing with my toy. I didn't care if it killed me. Do it. But I'm not scared anymore. And that was the end of that. I tamed the basement. So here we have quarter. Here's the quarter. Now here is what. Here's something else. Despite division, you remember division? Our eyes make things. Here we go. The sun. Okay. Let's say I believe the vision thing. Right. We have wide vision, which makes the sun look smaller as opposed to, you know, here's the Earth. There's the sun. That's pretty much the correct proportion. Okay. Go to the internet and look for a proportional map. You're going to see pretty much damn proportions, right? So here's the problem. The direction of light from the sun, despite our eyes, where is the direction of light from the sun coming from? And it has to come from here, right? And there, as well as here. And you put the planet here, and what does that mean? What that means is, I'm surprised we have night anywhere on the planet, because the sun covers past the halfway mark. It covers almost 2/3 each side of the planet, which leaves very, very little of darkness. Now, despite our eyes, that's a fact. That's all. That's all I want to say. So, that thing up in the sky, not the sun. I mean, you know, it could be it could be. It's supposed to be the sun from a distance, but it's not the same sun that is, you know, that has to shine light on. There's only about, you know, that'd leave about a quarter of the planet that's in the dark, not half the planet. For the sun, for half of the planet to be in darkness, while half of the planet was in light, that would require that the sun be no larger than the Earth. Are you following me? Only if the sun is not larger than the Earth can the Earth have half light and half darkness. When the sun becomes larger than the Earth, then it starts crossing that halfway line because it's reaching B. Or does it? Yeah. What? Let me think about it. Forget about it. I think I'm right. You're right. We're really close to the sun. That's it. That's it.